Welcome back to another round of Spudventures. This week we're playing Session 5 of the Forgotten Ones, which means I'm going to throw it over to GreatDinn.
Hello again, folks. Welcome back. It's been 3,000 years. Kidding. I am just cursed. Once again, we're getting back into the Dungeon of the Mad Mage module with a small twist of all of the characters starting with amnesia. Joining us this week, as always, is Avis playing Yuliy.
Hello.
Digo playing Victor.
Hello.
Spud playing Usk.
Oh, hey.
Azure playing Lander Brightwood.
Hey.
And Jawa playing Jhank.
Hello.
And when we last left our would-be adventurers, they had just managed to successfully chase off a series of goblins and dealt with a series of magic mirrors that, fortunately for them, did not quite work because of their current situation.
That was fun.
It was certainly a weird scenario that I did not entirely plan for, but on reading the notes again, went, oh yeah, no, this makes sense. And so, yes, you are still on the first floor of the Undermountain. You are near the Warg's Eye watch post, where the Xanathar Guild's bugbears and goblins had sort of made a little stakeout area. Yeah, where would you guys like to go from here?
Well, I want to start off by saying, can we agree to stop charging ahead from now on? Can we just make a pact right here, right now?
In response, Jhank charges ahead.
I'll be honest, I don't remember
I'm
who
not-
charged ahead.
I'm not laughing. Okay. So
I know I sent my owl ahead and that didn't trigger anything, but then someone else moved ahead and... Yeah.
Yeah, so
Anyway.
why I'm saying, let's all agree to a direction before we move in that direction.
Yes.
Fair.
Well... Did we already explore out this little section here of where the goblins were?
Yes, but I can give you another brief rundown. There was in this. Let me move this little marker in this room right here. There were some more goblins who ran out as you guys were leaving, and there was a skeleton there that had rope pulleys attached to it and some sort of macabre puppet show. And a shield that had been cleft in twain, with one half reading NIMR and the other half reading AITH. So when put together, it says Nimwraith. You assume that's the skeleton, but I mean, no way to be 100% certain. This section over here, the main area had more of the sort of goblin and bugbear tent locations. You could tell they didn't necessarily sleep there, but they definitely hung out there a lot. And there was an enormous sort of black stone statue that had been broken into several fist-sized chunks of stone, which I believe Lander did an investigation on it and determined it's not magical, and you could sort of guess that it was depicting three human warriors all standing together on the mound, facing outward, clutching swords. Some sort of some sort of statue honoring a group of warriors. This zone was this was the watch post. That was where the big Xanathar Guild symbol was seen on a wooden watchtower that was felled by lightning. And the bottom section is the that was where you could tell the goblins were sleeping. You went down there, saw some more goblins basically cowering at everything they could hear and sort of see happening in the hallway, and you let them sort of ditch.
Bunch of scaredy goblins.
Well, if you just saw lightning arc across a hallway and heard the screams of several goblins, you might be scared too.
We're monsters.
Well,
so are they.
We're all monsters deep down inside.
In the Undermountain, everyone's a monster. Anywho, I'm going to remove that pointer now, and where would you all like to go?
Well, looks like
scouting.
Yes, and worth noting, you did come from the north, so yeah, south is the way that you would be going. All right, so south, it's a lot more sort of stone hallway. It's again no torches because everything that seems to be stalking these hallways has dark vision, or mystic eyes,
Except for the one human.
except for the one human. Yes, but there's not much in the sort of like intervening area where your owl is. Like you can tell it turns right into another hallway. There doesn't seem to be much marked on this section of the map. And they're like that. You can tell that.
Jhank.
You can
What
tell
did we
that like
just say?
you can tell that goblins and bugbears and the like have like traveled through this area, but the signs of life are old. And there's not really anything worth picking up.
All right, so Jhank is then going to go and peek around the corner.
Jhank?
I kind of thought
When
it
I
was,
said we agreed to move first, that did not mean Jhank just goes.
Jhank agreed with himself.
I mean, the owl's going ahead, so
Yeah,
That's
we're
because
waiting for the
it's
owl to
familiar.
scout first before we move.
The owl is slightly more expendable.
Yes. The owl can be returned to life. You're not sure how many times that'll happen to you.
We've
The
already
owl
gone.
also has advantage to perception checks
Mm,
involving sight and scent and the hearing.
yes. So yes, I'll be blunt. The owl can get through like into this pillared room, like the room with the two stone pillars visible, with like no encounters whatsoever. So you don't have to worry about like, are there monsters a prowling? At least up to that point.
So up to this room here.
Yes. And in that room, I will have the owl perception. We'll see what the owl can see.
All right, so it's sight.
Yes.
So let me just...
The scent in this hallway and room is mostly goblin.
Right. Just a moment. Hold up. I need to make the modifier 3.
Gob. Yes,
All right, there we
Digo.
go.
Gobs and gobs of lins. All right.
That's- Very low rolls.
That is really low rolls.
A 2 and a 3.
Do owls technically have night vision?
I think so. Let's see. They have dark vision 120 feet.
Okay, yeah.
Passive perception of 13.
All right. I probably should have just gone with the passive perception there. That's fine. It's not crazy. So I'll go with the passive perception on that one. And
Okay.
the owl can see there are two 10-foot wide, or there's two stone pillars in this room. They're about 10 feet wide. They're fairly large. And in this, let me make a little pointer here. In this area right here, where it sort of bleeds off into another hallway, there is a stone archway that looks like it's sort of etched with magical runes on this, like across the whole of the arch. But there doesn't seem to be anything like there anymore. You get the feeling that this might have at once been a portal, but for whatever reason, it has been sort of sealed off. And
there's
there are
nothing-
also
So there's really nothing worthwhile down that hallway.
not especially, no. There are just outside of the portal two orc skeletons, one of which is missing a hand.
I wonder if it had it in the portal when it got destroyed.
Potentially. No real way to check.
Yep.
Anywho. So yeah, that room is pretty empty, and even when you sort of properly examine the skeletons, they've been picked clean.
So the room is safe to enter then, right?
Room is safe to enter.
Yeah. So I want to know if I can read those runes on the archway.
All right, roll. That seems Arcana-ish.
Okay, Jhank
Does
will also
the
try
eyes
to...
not just do it automatically?
Oh, right. Sorry, I.
Yeah, Eyes of the Rune Keeper.
Yes, I forgot about that. One moment. Let me double check the full specs on that one.
So if he can do it automatically, there's no point to Jhank trying to read them.
Yeah. They don't correspond to any particular language. The runes, they are simply more of like, they're basically power words, I guess. They're vocal, you know, there are runic etchings that are designed to sort of like have the magic flow through them. They don't translate to anything in particular, but you can recognize sort of from the way it's arranged that yes, this was indeed one of his magic portals.
All right.
But it doesn't look like it was deactivated by the mage. It looks based on the way the writing is written and the like structure of it, how it's not even remotely sort of broken. It looks like it just stopped. You get the feeling that this might have simply deactivated when the spell plague hit a few centuries back.
I wonder if we can turn it on again. Anyway, that's for later.
All right.
We have more pressing matters.
I suppose you can mark it on the map if you'd like.
I think I would. Well,
make yourself a note.
Yeah.
Here, let me put a little. I'll put a little circle around this for the future. Boop. And I can put a pin in that for myself.
Yep. Just mark it as deactivated portal.
Yes.
Dead portal.
Just write that down somewhere on the map.
Yep. All right, I have it. So you guys can't see my pins, but I have it written down for you.
So where's Chestnut right now? Because I don't see it marked.
I forgot to grab a token for Chestnut, but Chestnut is with you guys.
Okay.
So when I accidentally deleted all the tokens in the last game, Chestnut went with you guys, and I couldn't quite get him back right at the moment, or get it back right at the moment. But there we go. Now you have Chestnut again.
Yay!
Yay, Chestnut.
Our loyal chest dog.
Yes. All right. The next room over. I assume that's what the owl is checking.
Yeah.
Once again, not a heck of a lot in this room. Again, it seems like goblins and bugbears have been through here, left some refuse. It seems like a lot of people have died in here at some point, because there's a whole pile of moldy at this point bones that have been swept into the southern alcove, just to be out of the way. But in the alcove to the east, you can see another skeleton that is just hanging from rusty manacles.
Very apt for a dungeon.
Yes.
So it's not possible to tell whether they died fighting or if they died to a trap, then, is it?
No, not especially. You can assume that the tiefling, it's in manacles, so you can assume the tiefling died just being strapped to those manacles, but it's kind of hard to make that a trap exactly.
He was captured.
Yeah. There is some writing on the on the wall above the tiefling, written in blood. Does your owl have the same ability to read?
I can look through its eyes, I think.
Okay.
But also, if the room is clear, we can just move up.
True. It's an infernal, and it says, "Talk to me."
I
Hello.
can read it, but I don't think I can speak it. So,
Anyone got Infernal as a language here?
I believe so.
Mm-mm.
I think so, anyway.
I mean, yes, but can anyone speak with the dead?
Oh, that too.
Yeah, this tiefling is a skeleton, not a live one.
Jhank will just test it by saying hello in every language he knows.
No reaction.
This looks like an opportunity for somebody else. I don't know that anyone has the ability to speak with the dead.
Is that a cleric skill?
I mean, isn't it a spell? Yeah, it's a spell.
Yeah, like a cleric spell. Or what kind of... Never mind.
Yeah, I'm not certain that... Well, maybe... Looks like... No, due to Yuliy's particular version of the oath of... That's the word, oath. It's not speak with dead, it's speak with animals. So... And...
So what you're saying is that Yuliy could speak with both Chestnut and Crunchbite.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Avis, are you there?
We've been muted a while there.
Oh shoot.
Ah,
Whoa.
you'll accidentally mute yourself the whole time.
It happened.
I'm gonna cry a little bit. It's fine.
Sorry.
I actually had been talking and it sounded like you guys were answering me.
How
We haven't heard a single
perfect.
thing you've said.
I'm really sorry about that, Avis. I didn't notice.
Yeah, I just
No,
noticed
it's
just now.
It's fine. It's my issue for having to semi-multitask right now.
Oh, lo siento. All right. So yeah, I don't think anyone will be able to talk with this. Unfortunately.
I mean, I can still try and talk infernal to it.
Yeah.
Give it its last rites.
Sure, why not?
You don't know if a skeleton can appreciate it, but you feel better about it, I guess.
I do feel better. Slightly.
All right.
Me personally.
All right. Well,
Okay, so yes, Jhank's gonna go to the big pile of bones and find a nice big one to give to Crunchbite.
They're all moldy.
yeah, these
Oh, they are?
are some very old bones.
Oh, all the bones are moldy?
Oh, yeah, the tiefling is probably the freshest one, and it's missing
It's in,
legs.
okay,
So,
never mind.
I mean, you can. It might make the dog a little bit sick.
Well, no, yeah, Jhank doesn't want to poison his dog.
Yet. Dun, dun, dun.
You're implying there will be a time where Jhank would want to poison his dog.
Well, I don't know. Maybe you bought a mimic.
Yuliy would greatly disapprove of you ever even thinking about doing that, so please don't.
So you got a lot of static and fuzziness coming
Yeah.
through there.
Ugh.
No, I mean,
Sorry.
I don't.
No, I know.
I
I'm like, I don't know what's going on with Mike. Every time I do something, it seems like something else is wrong.
That would be pretty impressive if Crunchbite actually was a mimic and I had a pet mimic.
Meanwhile, you guys have this walking chest, and like, no, that's clearly not a mimic.
So
Well,
when I reach 9th level, I can get Whispers of the Grave, which is an eldritch invocation that lets me speak with dead at will.
Okay, well,
So
yeah.
Let's
Something to come
gain
back to.
4 levels and come back. Sure.
I mean, and besides, it's not like Chestnut has been, trying to deceive us in any way. Chestnut is clearly open and upfront about what Chestnut is.
Chestnut's heart is unlocked.
Yes.
Your social link is very high. Anywho,
Chestnut is our friend.
the the hallway to the south of this area is once again there's really not a lot to say about it. It's dark stone. There's no torches. It's been slightly lived in, but you know the goblins and bugbears seem to be trying to keep it at least a little bit clean for whomever owns this place, or whomever claims ownership of this particular zone. And I can say that I'm gonna make a little pointer to say like where visible things are. So this area, the area with the big old star, that is where the first sort of not signs of life exactly, but signs of activity can be found. There is the star is an enormous headless statue. Seems to be some sort of woman. You're not really sure what. It looks mostly human, but not entirely. The head might be around there somewhere, but you can't quite see it. There's and then right next to the statue is a sort of loose pile of rubble. And you can see just like it's not hiding what it's supposed to be hiding very well, which is clearly some sort of tunnel. Sort of like hand dug tunnel.
Used to be the statue's head?
Hmm?
Did the rubble used to be the statue's head?
No, it looks like rubble from the wall. The statue is made of a lighter sort of gray. It looks like, marble, whereas the sort of walls are significantly darker rock, some sort of like volcanic rock.
Yeah, we can see that that's on the map. That is where the shortcut through the tunnel of certain death is.
Yeah.
The long, featureless tunnel of definitely not a trap.
Yes, the long, featureless tunnel of definitely not a trap.
I mean, there was a sign that said certain death ahead.
Yes.
Did I make a roll to check the tunnel?
Yeah.
Okay, that'd be...
So I guess we're moving up.
Well, he's checking the tunnel first.
Observation?
I assume this
Which
is...
tunnel, though?
He's talking about the... I believe he's talking about this one.
Yeah, so then we're all moving forward, I guess.
So that requires moving up.
Okay, so I guess we are just moving ahead.
I thought he meant the in-between tunnel in case the owl had missed something.
Oh.
I assumed that there was just nothing there.
I assumed it was the tunnel of certain death.
We've all moved through now anyway, so if there's a trap...
Yes. Don't worry, I'll... If there's the potential of things happening, I will make you guys roll, but I don't, with how often we've had to skip sessions, I'm going to try and
cut things up.
Yeah, I'm going to try and cut some chaff where possible. So I'm not going to do this long paranoia inducing thing of check every tunnel.
So
no, we should totally do that.
Right here.
Okay, so I'm going to glance.
Is there anything there? Or is that just empty?
The next tunnel up.
Sorry, what were you saying, Azure?
Where my owl is. Was there anything there, or was that just an empty thing?
It's just an empty alcove. You can see some more swept up refuse has been put in there. That's about it.
Okay, I'm glancing down that next tunnel along that we have no idea.
Okay, that one. Let's get some masking layer on. Boop. You can see through to there. And you can actually see some candles at the end of that hallway.
That's what the little thing is? That's a light source?
Yes, it is a light source.
Oh, so that's what those were.
Mm-hmm.
We have found the light.
I'm going to examine the statue. By the way, what's with all the statues not having heads? Are we going to get some magical item when we put all the heads back on?
Could be. It might just also be the fact that, this floor of the dungeon seems to be populated by a lot of goblins and bugbears.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just fun to break stuff.
So I guess I'll roll investigation on the statue.
All right.
That's low rolls today.
Yeah. With a 9, you know what? This still seems to me like you're taking a little bit of time. So I'll say you still can't quite tell what the statue is of. But you do see, like, in that pile of rubble that was blocking the tunnel, you see a lighter bit of rock and what might be the head. And it's not a woman's head. It looks like a cobra. It doesn't quite fit back on the statue, though, because it's just been chipped to pieces.
So like a cobra human hybrid.
Yeah, it's a bit weird.
So does it look like it might fit on if it had a few more pieces not chipped?
Yeah, it might.
All right.
All right. But yeah, there doesn't seem to be much else in that room aside from, a tunnel leading back north. Which might be handy in the future. Gets you from wandering all the way back through that stuff.
I mean, we could have taken it the first things, but everyone was wary of the certain death.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think there was also a bit of an element of, trying to advance forward and find our way to the next level so we can get...
Well, we know where that is.
We do?
Yeah. It's where the 20 mark is on the map down to the
That's the
right.
Yes, that is the exit.
Oh,
To
well.
the lower floor.
Okay.
Oh wait, is there? Yeah, there doesn't seem to be anywhere that leads to that.
No, we got a path there. We go east through that tunnel and then south.
Yeah.
There's like a little wall there, but it might just be like an illusory wall or something.
Nothing
I hope
else.
so, because I don't see like a door marker to any of that bottom area.
If
Well, they
nothing
definitely
else,
got there
it looks
somehow.
like someone got through it somehow. Otherwise, they wouldn't know that hallway's there.
Assuming this map is accurate, which we don't have a reason yet to doubt,
Mm-hmm.
that looks like a pair of secret passages.
Yeah.
And if all else fails, we can blow it up.
It's true. You do have some explosives.
Yep, just use explosives underground. It's great.
Just get everyone behind me and my shield before you do it at a significant distance away.
Luckily,
Like
your
Magnum
shield will
attacker.
protect us.
What was that, Digo?
A significant distance away, like back at the tavern.
Yeah, it's true.
That is a significant distance.
Sorry, potato.
No worries. All right. So, do you want to head north or south?
I kind of want to take a glance south.
You want to go
He is
further?
distracted by the shiny.
He is distracted by the mini
mean,
shiny.
Distracted by the unseen tunnels.
I'll just send my owl to scout ahead then.
Jhank, be careful.
All right. Let me
I just
get
roll
some-
my eyes as Jhank charges ahead yet again.
Oh, he's not charging ahead just yet.
All
He's
right,
staying at the door.
Let me do
Just assume that I'm hanging like at the rear at all times at this point.
fair
There's a corner.
enough.
We can't see the corner. Go look at the corner.
Which corner?
All the corners.
There's a lot of stuff over to the left.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess if there's nothing in this hallway, then I'll check out the right.
So real fast, these tunnels are. Oh, I'm getting some echo.
Jawa.
So yes, these ones are like compared to the other tunnels that you've been through. The owl can see that this is one brighter. This one actually has candles. They produce heat, but there's no smoke coming from them. And there is absolutely no dust or debris down this entire hallway. These are definitely some magic candles because they're just floating in midair.
Now, is there like actually like a candlestick, or is it just floating light?
It's a candlestick. It's like a whole floating candlestick. It's very Jean Cocteau without the arms. So yes,
Okay, I'm just going to pose the question out loud. Could we take one?
you can try.
I mean, I don't know if we need one, but I guess we could tie one to a rope and maybe have it float around Victor, if that works.
Or I can just hold it.
Yeah, but then you gotta use a hand to hold it. If you attach it to a rope and then tie the rope to him, then it'll just float around behind him like a balloon.
If it's not like adhered to a single place.
Take my candle out for walkies.
It's important as a candle owner to take your candle out for a good walk at least twice a month.
You should be sure to take your candle for a walk when it's dark out. That's when it will really get the most benefit.
Don't give it treats just for going on a walk, though. You're gonna spoil that candle.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Well,
Anyway.
checking out this corner.
Alrighty. So that corner is more hallway, as you know, as demonstrated, and as I'll, the owl can go all the way to the end of that. And there's a gate. There's this mirrored gate. It's like the whole sort of area of it is surrounded by this stone depiction of a wizard wielding a wand, and the face is just completely grave. It looks like a warning, but there's no distinct, like it's not open now, though. It looks like it could be, though. This one looks like it would work.
So, is that on the north wall?
It's on the north wall, yes.
Okay.
Basically, it's at the very end of the tunnel.
Sounds like a very ominous tunnel, an ominous gate that we should, leave closed for now.
So by gate, do you mean like a portal gate? Or just like a gate that you open up to get into someone's yard?
Like a magical gate. Like, basically what you saw earlier, but working. That one that you were thinking, I might be able to react to this. But this one has a glass feature.
So
it's I'll put it this way, it's very clearly magic.
All right. Well, make a note about that.
Okay.
Check out the other side.
The other side, you can see there's a door leading to what might be some sort of small room to the north, and there's 2 more hallways branching off to the south.
I'm assuming the door is closed, so I'm going to have the owl go south.
Okay. First hallway?
Yeah.
For as safer as this whole owl scouting thing makes it, it also makes it a bit more boring, kind of waiting for the owl to go off and do everything while we sit around.
As soon as the owl hits that corner, it disappears.
Ah.
So your owl is gone.
Well,
you were saying, Jhank.
All's well as owl's well.
So, can I tell if it's dead or if it's still around, just not there?
It's very dead.
Okay.
That sounds like a place we should not go.
No, it's okay. Let's send Jhank ahead.
No, come now.
I can go peek around the corner.
I do want to explore because I also have the job of mapping this place out, but we could also just ignore it and continue on with our other objective.
True.
I
true.
personally think we can always come back to explore. We kind of have pressing matters.
Mm-hmm.
We can at least go peek around the corner.
If you come back with something running after you, I won't say I told you so, but I will tell you I told you so.
Assuming it comes back.
That warning has been acknowledged and deemed acceptable.
If it turns out that there's something that's very obvious in that corner, I'm going to be a little bit upset that the owl didn't see it.
Going around the corner, I'm looking both ways.
That
Before
corner,
crossing
I'm
the
pretty
street.
sure was clear.
For crossing the street.
Yes, before crossing the street.
Mhm.
I'm sneaking down this other hallway and peeking around the corner.
You gonna
Doesn't seem
try
to be.
grabbing a candle?
Real fast, Jhank. Turning that corner, you don't see anything. It just looks like long hallway, but now there's no more candles.
Okay, I'm going to open the door and peek inside.
It's an empty closet. It's just a small 10-foot room.
Well, that's kind of anticlimactic.
Well,
I don't want it to be climatic.
like I said, a lot of this dungeon has been cleared out already.
Okay, so do I see anything at the end of the hallway that would suggest that's what caused the owl to vanish?
No, not immediately at the end of the hallway.
Yeah, if you did, then the owl probably would have seen it too.
Okay. Trying to... do I notice like any sounds of anything coming from down the hallway?
No. You gonna keep going?
So anyone else want to come take a look with me?
No.
Yeah, not really.
I'll tell you this. You have a good guess of what might if you know your monsters, you might be able to guess what's happening here.
And what
I
would
know,
that be?
I'm trying not to say it. I'm trying not to say it. Jhank, I think you should come back. I have a bad feeling.
I mean, I don't know my monsters, but I have a feeling that Lander might.
I have a
So what
pretty good
skill
idea.
roll
I
would
know
that
what
be?
it is.
Can I make some sort of roll for Jhank to try and deduce what happened?
Let's go with I'm gonna check skills real fast. Let's see what the most appropriate one would be here.
Because I think I know what it is. I want Yuliy to maybe have an idea. I'd like to roll something too.
Okay.
I'm a city boy, so I have no idea.
I mean, Jhank hunts
This-
monsters for his...
it's true. This feels like investigation.
Okay.
Oh boy, one of my best skills.
And I rolled horribly.
Hey, I didn't do so bad this time.
No idea. The heebie-jeebies.
So your owl disappeared after turning a corner.
Mhm.
The risk I took was calculated for me. I love that line so much. Thank you for posting that, Digo.
Yeah.
So your owl disappeared after turning a corner, which is weird. And the hallways are very, 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 very clean, which is also weird because everything else has been dirty except for these series of hallways. With those, you can assume it's something that is like moving through this hallway somewhat regularly and taking all of the dirt and debris with it. Best guess is some kind of gelatinous cube.
Yeah.
I'm
starting to think I mean, I guess it makes sense. I think the owl only has like 1 HP.
Yeah.
I have
And it
never had good experiences with cubes,
Yeah.
please.
I've had experiences being the DM running a dungeon with a cube in it.
Yeah.
There's always room for Jello.
I had to babysit an entire party dealing with the cube. It was not fun.
So, seems like it doesn't get the candles though.
No, it doesn't. Might be because the candles are magic. Maybe. Possibly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe
yeah.
it doesn't like light.
So its last known location is at the bend
Yeah.
down at the bottom of the hallway.
hmm
How fast do gelatinous cubes move?
Not very.
But there's no sign of it at the corner.
It's. I'll put a
It
token
might be
down.
there.
I'll put a token down for you guys, but it's like right at the corner, basically. It's just far enough back that, like, the owl turning the corner would have gotten caught in it.
It's in full cover.
Yeah, it's in full cover.
But
Guys, let's just leave it alone, whatever it is.
Well,
Yeah,
if
this
there's-
is like a sidetrack from the actual exit here at this point.
Well,
plus,
down,
it-
Oh,
seems
okay.
like it's Jhank's time to shine.
yeah.
Jhank
Just
will fall back, and to the other will fall back. I mean, he could go
Uh-huh.
down that other hallway, but then he'd risk getting caught on the other side of the cube, like between a.
or another cube.
Between a hallway and a soft place.
So we're going to mark this hallway as gelatinous cube hallway.
Yeah. Probably a good idea.
Just nope.
So
Gelatinous
take
way.
it.
Oh, you
Did any-
you think that closet is like its home? Or its
Might be.
little nest?
It's about the right size. And it is potentially a janitor's closet.
So
One could easily describe it as a janitor closet.
Why
So
would there
the
be a
gelatinous
janitor's
cube
closet?
Because the cube is the janitor.
I'm tired.
Yeah.
a gelatinous janitor.
hmm
I'm
It only
Literally-
takes care of this hallway, though.
He is the best at janitors.
I'll be perfectly blunt here. This is one of my favorite zones because my notes, this is not even mine. This is straight from the book. Is ooze your janitor.
Ah.
I love that so much.
Man,
That's
A+.
beautiful.
So it looks like
Wizards.
Yuliy's moving up.
hmm Looks like someone charged ahead. Yeah.
So much for the pact.
Well, to be fair, no one signed a contract.
Did we ever actually agree to that pact?
I thought maybe.
I mean,
Thought
we
it
don't
might
have
be
the
common
owl
sense,
anymore,
but
so.
apparently,
In all fairness, I just exaggerated her walking off.
All right, real fast. Did anyone want to try and grab one of the?
No.
I don't feel a particularly strong inclination to.
Not really.
So I'm thinking either Jhank or Victor should go first because they have the highest wisdom, which I'm pretty sure is what. No, wait. Never mind. It's not that. Perception. So
Yeah.
Jhank
I think
and Yuliy.
Problem with that plan is that I rely on light to see, so my
Oh
vision
yeah,
is
I
what-
forgot
then I'll
about
go.
that.
Then I'll go first. It's
Does
fine.
anyone else have a higher perception than 6?
I have 15 passive perception.
Yeah, I think 3 of you have like a 15 passive perception. So
Where's my? Oh, I have a 16 perception.
Yeah.
yes.
Victor has a passive perception of 21, it looks like.
Oh, right. No, Victor's is insane. I forgot about that.
But
So
he's
if
also
he had some
Victor
light,
also
then-
is human.
And worth noting, like I don't consider passive perception things just like sight. I mean, you're a druid. You have probably a better sense of smell and just like intuition than a lot of people. Like I consider passive perception to be somewhat intuitive as well.
Yeah, that's how I always saw it. It was
Okay,
more
so-
of like you don't have to see it, but you notice something's off like faster than anyone else.
So we
So-
should put Jhank first, and then have Victor behind him.
Victor can just daredevil his way through.
Dare druid.
They're
Yes.
good.
Oh wait, no, that's bear druid. Never mind. Bear devil. Oh,
Wait,
sorry.
I think that's me.
Wait. Yes, actually. Dang it. Too many people fill the exact same pun role.
Eh.
We're just a whole party of bear druid. It's fine.
All right.
We are a party that bears arms.
So it looks like since Yuliy is the one going ahead,
I'll wait.
Yeah, we should have Jhank and Victor go first.
Okay. Jhank is going to glance around the corner at this alcove.
At the back of the alcove, you can see there is a niche that has another bas relief of a sculpture. This time it's of a heavyset man playing a harp. And you can also see there is a 5-foot pole, which which you can tell from looking at it is half of what was a 10-foot pole. And if you decide to take there doesn't appear to be any living things on this side. But it looks like there might be something written into the bas relief. I always forget how to say that word.
Is it possible to read it from here?
From where you're at, no, because it's very small writing.
Someone want to do some reading?
I mean, I generally read, but anyone want to take a closer look first? Maybe someone who has a lot of health and armor?
Can I make a perception roll on the staff?
You don't have to be so coy. I'll do it.
I mean, it was either you or Jhank, one of you two.
It's fine. I'll do it. I know what I'm doing.
I just noticed the three of us are the only ones wounded.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's fine. No worries.
It seems like you're the one getting close, Yuliy. So,
yes.
As you approach the relief, you can see there is some writing. There is indeed some very small writing on the edge of the harp. And it says, "Gaze upon me with bronzed visage, and secrets shall I reveal."
She tilts her head in confusion.
Bronze visage.
Wait, so we never did take time after the last battle to do anything healing, did we?
No.
We didn't really get a chance. It was just battle and move on.
Yeah.
Charge to head.
Should we maybe take a moment to do that? Like make healing checks or whatever?
I mean, a short rest would help me out the most. Because I could get my spells back.
I mean, I've got a 12 listed under HP. Is that supposed to be like how much I've lost, or what is...
Yeah, that's how much you've lost. If you go to the party sheet, you can hover over your health bar, and it'll show you that right now you've got 32 out of 44.
Oh, okay, so I'm pretty well... Well, it should be listed on my character sheet, too, so shouldn't it? So I know how much...
It shows you your max health and the amount of damage that you've taken, but it doesn't show you your current health.
Yeah, it's a bit of a weird situation.
You're supposed to keep track of when your wounds exceed your max HP.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. No. Okay.
So yeah, you guys can. Yeah. I mean, if you want to take a short rest somewhere, this seems as good a place as any.
Yeah. Let's wait and find a larger room.
Well, for more stars of accommodation? What?
You can rest here if you want. I want to just...
It's a short... It's a short rest, not a, like...
So is someone checking on the statue, like, for if it has knowledge to give?
So, bronze visage, I wonder what that means.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's the question. I have no idea what that means. Unless... I don't know.
Victor, you remember that in that mirrored hallway...
that mask. I have
that. You remembered that Lander picked up a bronze mask that depicted an old mage's face.
Hey, Lander. Didn't you have a mask thing back in the hall with the mirrors?
Yep, here you go.
Okay.
I have no attachment to it.
Notice he gave it to me and not put it on himself. That's
Yep.
All right.
All right. Let's see if this disintegrates the party healer.
Do you want me to hold it and do it? It's fine.
Nah, that's cool.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I haven't been doing much, but following you guys doing silly things.
Alright.
Hold on a second. What's my flaw again? I'd risk too much to uncover a lost bit of knowledge. Maybe I would have put it on myself.
Do you want to take back?
Nah, it's fine.
Okay. Then I will put it on and look at the...
All right. As you put on the mask, there's a brief moment of darkness. Well, more darkness than you anticipated, because the mask doesn't have eye holes. It's
Which
just
you already
it's,
can't see, though.
I know, but I presume you guys are still carrying a torch at this point.
Yeah, for his sake.
Yeah.
We're just letting him hold on to it. One person.
Ride Chester into the dark. But Victor, as you put on this mask, there is more darkness than you anticipated, because the mask, as I just said, doesn't actually have eye holes. It appears to be just like a complete mask of the old mage's face. But as you put it on in this area, the eyes open up, and you can see where this where the edges of this bas relief are. The man holding the harp is gone. It's just a sort of misty doorway.
Huh.
No one else can see this.
Oh.
No one else can see it. Just Victor.
So
What do you see, Victor?
I see what looks to be a misty doorway here.
Can I try walking closer and seeing if anything actually happens?
Yeah, you're free to do that.
Dude.
You find nothing but stone.
Huh. Are you sure?
So,
Well, let me see. I reach out to see if I can manipulate the door.
Your hand just passes straight through this mist.
and we see that.
Yeah, you can see. It looks like he's just walking straight through stone.
What the?
That's some interesting mask right there.
I pull my hand back. So I'm seeing my hand go through this doorway. What are you all seeing?
Your
Your
hand going
hand.
through that doorway.
We see
Well,
what
through
you
stone.
That was the
Through
fact that there is a statue there.
I
Yeah,
want
we're
to try
seeing your hand go
something.
through solid stone.
I'm going to try something. So I'm going to grab onto Victor's hand and it's like, okay, pull me through.
Your hand stops at the stone, but Victor's does not.
Okay, that didn't work.
Try
I
this. Close
wonder
your
what-
eyes and stick your hand through.
Oh, that's so stupid.
It seems, Victor, that right now you are the only one to pass through this.
Okay.
So
Banging
I
on
don't
this
think we
wall.
should test it, but I'm curious to find out what would happen if you took off the mask while your hand was in the doorway.
Yeah, maybe don't.
That
I
would
would-
be a horrible idea.
Yeah, let's
We
not
could
take this
try-
magic for granted.
We could try
Yeah.
breaking the statue. Reveals a doorway.
Do you see anything over there at least?
Not through the mist, you cannot.
I
No,
would
I
have to
meant,
completely-
this was to Victor, asking Victor if he could see anything.
I'm just
not through
letting him
this.
know.
Oh, okay.
I would have to walk through it, which means I'd probably, from your perspective, disappear through this wall.
Do you
So
want to
should
do
we
that,
tie
or do
a
you want
rope
to give
around
it
you?
to someone else?
I mean,
Because
I'm
you'd
willing.
be alone.
Yeah, I mean, I'm willing to try it, unless somebody else wants to.
I can do it.
Okay, you want?
If you're going, let's tie a rope around you.
We got plenty of rope.
Is that gonna work? Huh,
I don't
okay,
know.
fine. I'll take the mask off.
I mean,
Okay.
Hand it over to us.
if we need rope, I've got rope.
We all have rope.
Oh, I got rope.
You got-
15 feet, 50 feet of it.
Yep, everyone's got 50 feet of rope.
Okay.
We can tie 4 ropes around him, one for everyone.
Maybe, maybe
We
no.
can try his rope too.
Let's stick with one. Let's stick
All
with
If
one.
we need more, we'll tie another one. It's fine. Okay.
No, I mean, like, if something goes bad, we can all pull.
Oh, absolutely. I'm holding on to it, and I'm like, Victor, if something happens, run and also scream, and I'll pull.
No, it's us this time, though.
Yeah, it's us going through.
Sorry.
Anyway, I would be completely useless in pulling him out. So,
I'll just do it. It's fine.
yeah, it's going to be Yuliy and Jhank with the
All
highest
right.
strength scores.
Yeah, but Jhank has like a lizard face, so I don't know if he can wear the mask anyway.
You're not
No,
wearing
it's
the
not
mask. You're
wearing the
holding
mask.
the
We're
rope.
holding a rope while us goes through, and if us comes back
Okay,
screaming,
yeah.
we're pulling him back to get him out faster.
Jhank can hold the rope, sure.
Yuliy's doing it, Phil.
All
and
right.
then Chestnut and Crunchbite can hold the rope with him.
All right. See that? I mean, you can definitely tie the rope to the dog and put one end into the chest. That'll definitely work.
Yuliy's right up against the wall.
All right. So, Usk, you put on the mask.
I put on the mask, and
You see the misty doorway that Victor talked about.
Oh, that's what that's all about. Well, I walk through.
All of that rope that's tied to you severs. So now you all have 45 feet of rope.
Good thing it wasn't my rope.
And
could have guessed as much, honestly.
I mean, there was a half of a 10-foot pole there.
Yeah.
And Usk, what you can see is a 30-foot square stone room. And in it, you can see there's where you just came from. There's another sort of misty, veiled door that leads back out. You see the other half of that 10-foot pole lying at your feet. When you look around, you can sort of see there is this enormous, like at least 10 feet tall portrait of the mage that is like the face is on that mask, but it's hanging upside down. And then more importantly, you see a very, very high-backed black oak chair. And you see a human mage sitting in it. The man looks decrepit. He looks hundreds, if not thousands of years old, with a muss of white hair and an extraordinarily long beard wrapped in these black robes that are entirely too large for his gnarled, wrinkled form. And he looks at you and he says, "Well, don't just stand there like a boob. Ask me 3 questions about the Undermountain. 2 of my answers will be true, and 1 will be false."
I see. How many floors are there in total?
There are 30 floors to the Undermountain. It runs very, very deep.
Okay. I suppose I can't just like call for help on that one.
I mean, you might be able to. He's just the human mage is just sitting there. He's not doing anything. He's not directing you. I'll say this, even when you take off the mask at this point, you can still see that misty doorway. It looks like you can get back out pretty easily.
I see. So you know many things about the Undermountain.
Is that a question?
No, it's not. A very specific phrase. As a statement, as a searching statement.
Yes. Well, it's not going to respond to that.
To be fair, if you did ask it as a question, you'd,
burn a question. Yeah, I know.
Could tell you whether the other 2 are false or not.
That's why I was asking.
Yeah. That is true though.
I want to say something, but I'm going to save it for the end because I'm not in this situation right now.
Cool.
As a side note, while we're waiting for him to figure it out, whose rope was it that got cut?
Anyone who had a rope attached to Usk.
It was just the one rope. So it's
Yeah.
probably Uska's ropes.
Then yeah, I guess Usk has 45 feet of
Well,
rope.
I
now.
didn't agree to this.
Oh, sorry. It was a bit hard to keep track of who was tying what.
I mean, I suggested it, but I never took action.
Well,
I'll take it. I will. I don't really.
okay.
I hold up a finger and then kind of step halfway out the portal and look at the others and say, if you had 2 questions you wanted to ask, say, an expert on the Undermountain, what would you want to ask?
Well, if I wanted to ask them, is this a theoretical question, or are you asking us for 2 questions?
Just answer it, Jhank.
Ask them what would have the ability to do what happened to us.
Okay.
Yes, ask us about.
Like in the most vague way possible, because otherwise.
But we kind of all had that dream with the beholder, right?
But the behold, wait,
Yeah,
Well, it was an eye. We don't know if it's beholder.
that's a fair bet.
I've already forgotten most of that dream.
Actually, I've got my second question. And I step back
I was
in.
more concerned on the glowing figure thing that's calling us back down. That's more my concern than what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I go back to the wizard's chamber and ask, what down here would have the ability to reconstitute, say, 5 disintegrated adventurers?
You hear like dry skin creaking as the figure sort of smiles, and you hear a very short chuckle before it goes. Well, in my Undermountain, there's quite a few different things that could do that. There's myself, of course, the Almighty, and he sort of raises his hands and points back at this, gestures to the enormous upside down portrait behind him. The Master of the Undermountain, Hallister Blackcloak. There are my 6 apprentices, each of whom have quite the power themselves. And perhaps there might be things down here that even I yet found.
Honestly, that's a respectably fair answer.
It's a better answer than I was expecting, to be honest.
I nod, and then sort of step halfway back out the portal again. Say, anything else?
And no, ask if we are permanently bound to this mountain, or if
I think that's implied for now. You got a better question?
Yeah, something guarding the way to level 2.
Well, okay. Here's the thing. The one of these answers is going to be a lie. So either there's not 30 floors, or he is concealing something that might have been able to reconstitute us, or this next question's answer is going to be a huge lie. So,
I mean,
So
the
wait,
second
how many
answer
questions
was
are there total?
3. I've asked 2.
Okay, so there are 3 questions total, one of which was a lie.
One of these 3 answers, I don't know which one is going to be a lie.
Ask the previous question again.
I got a really long, kind of incomplete answer out of that. So,
Then ask the first question again.
all right, then fine. Okay, I'm going. I go back in and I ask, how many floors are there to the Undermountain again?
The mage looks at you and goes, I will not answer the same question twice.
Fair
You
enough.
think I'm some sort of fool?
I mean, if you built this game of, 1 2 truths, 1 lie, you expect someone to try and game it at least once, right?
Yeah, I mean, there wasn't
But
any saying
I'll
the
respect
same question
that.
twice.
It was a good try.
All right, then.
You still have one more question.
I do,
so-
yeah.
So
Um,
is there any reason to think that the rest of us can't take a turn after him?
I have
Ah.
no idea. Good question.
we can try after. Maybe it's something you want to ask us. I
Or
mean,
you could
first,
ask something that you know the answer to.
this is true. Oh,
Worth noting, it needs to be like he did say specific to the Undermountain. It's ask me 3 questions about Undermountain.
Yeah.
okay. Oh my gosh, what was the name of that one place? The arcane, whatever. That was essentially floor 2.
We
Floor
have that
2.
in the notes.
Yes.
Because we know the answer to what floor is whatever that name is on, because we know what floor it's on. And if he lies,
The Arcane Sanctum.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's there. Yeah.
and that's on floor 2,
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Floor 2.
ask him what floor the arcane sanctum is on. If he says 2, then that's the truth. If he says it's not on floor 2, then that's the lie.
That's good. I'll do it. I ask, what floor is the arcane sanctum of the Undermountain on?
It is the floor beneath this one.
Ah, boy. Okay. Well,
And as he says that, the robed figure stands up, and it walks down this sort of it begins walking down the sort of steps leading up to that high back chair towards you. And then with one hand, it grabs the mask and pulls it back from you and says, "Now, if you don't mind, I'm going to take my leave." And with that, the figure and the mask both turn into slush. It just like sloughs off of the figure, becoming this white, formless mass that spreads across the floor and then disappears.
Can we say that during the game of 3 questions, I used Arcana'd?
Yes. So you can tell just from sort of looking at all, like, based on what you know about magic, what you were seeing is that this is it's some sort of very strong conjuration spell. And you obviously can't see into this through the other side of this without going through yourself, but it reeks of planar magic.
all right. So I have a melted man and mask.
There's nothing left. It's like it turned to slush, and then that slush just sort of evaporated. So
I still got this room with the throne and the upside down portrait in the mist.
yeah,
And the 5-foot pole.
And the 5-foot pole.
yes, and the 5-foot pole, and the doorway is still there, so you're not trapped.
Okay. I check the throne and then try to move the portrait to see if anything's behind it.
That portrait is way too big for you to move, unfortunately.
Maybe just sort of push or shift or kind of lift off the wall a bit, or
Even with that, you can obviously you can't see the full sort of spread of it, but it doesn't appear to be there doesn't appear to be anything behind it except more stone wall.
fair enough.
It seems that this is a small specific room. It might be on another plane of existence for all you know.
Oh, neat. Well, I'm gonna take the other, the 5 feet of pole and head out then.
All right.
Speaking of, I'm going to grab the 5-foot pole on this side as a backup quarterstaff.
Nice. All right.
Hop back out.
More of a half staff, but
Okay, so where's the mask?
8th staff.
How large is a quarterstaff?
no idea.
I'm so. I think it's
Hold on.
8,
Hold on.
7 feet.
It's clearly
6 to 8 feet.
There we go.
Okay.
I think it's called a quarterstaff because that's 2.5 meters.
So I just encountered a wizard, and he lied about one of my questions.
Do you know
Well, what
which
did
one?
he say about the first one? The last one?
That this arcane sanctum was on floor 2.
So then that's the truth. So there's either not 30 floors, or the second one was vague enough that he could have lied.
What worth noting, he did not say the second floor.
Yeah, he said the one below this.
He said
Oh.
the floor beneath this one.
Which is, we're on level 1, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. Oh no.
Unless he meant the floor of
Yeah.
How many floors are beneath this one?
I hate.
Well, to be fair,
I know.
to be fair, even if it is, as long as it's beneath this floor, then it's still true.
Yeah. Regardless, that one was definitely true. And I'll be blunt. I was mostly doing that for the gag.
Gotcha.
It is definitely the one beneath this. Like, you have enough information to know that regardless.
Well, honestly, I don't think we've gained much in the way of meaningful information other than the fact that there's a wizard and his gross apprentices down here waiting to harass us. So,
Yay.
You just spoke to the Mad Mage himself.
no,
Worth considering there is a difference between a floor beneath this one and the floor beneath this one.
yeah, that's the
I know.
joke.
Yeah, but
That's the
it's
gag.
kind of a moot point
Mean.
anyway.
Well,
We were all vague enough.
Mhm.
So,
let's move on. Well, let's rest and then move on.
Okay.
how many
Short rest,
apprentices
like,
did you say?
30.
Was it 6 total, or were there 6 apprentices?
6 apprentices.
Okay.
And
Maybe there's not 6.
And he definitely said that there were potentially things in this dungeon that not even he, the master of the Undermountain, is aware of.
Which could also be a lie.
Yeah, could be. There are
The question is
multiple.
so vague, and there's so many answers to the question he got that any part of it could be a lie and would make it the lie.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Oh, I'm thinking about this too much. Oh dear.
the easiest way, I think rather than focus on that, I think for you guys the easiest way to do that is see if there's something that tells you exactly.
You kind of cut out there.
Oh, I was saying rather than worry about all of the potential lies and
Cut out again.
Yeah.
dang it. Rather than that, worry about all of the different potential lies of information in that second one. If you can find a proof of how many floors are actually in the Undermountain, I think you got your answers.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
I just realized I have Zone of Truth.
Well,
Against a wizard of that power, I'm not sure.
I know. But I was going through my stuff and I realized and I'm like, oh, that might have been a good idea.
Ah,
in
well.
addition, you weren't the one in the room.
I know.
Yep.
I just noticed that.
C'est la vie.
I love you. Let's go.
Anyway,
Alright.
let's try and get some of you guys healed up before we move on.
Mm-hmm.
Short
Alright.
rest.
So how does
Alrighty.
the short rest healing work again?
Yes.
I
You
have.
roll-
Hold on. I know in this there's a way to do short rests, so give me a moment. Let's see, menu, initiative, rest, short rest. There we go.
Okay.
Yay.
I still have
Oh,
my
it.
HP though.
Let me double check. Sorry, this is the first time I've used this part, so let me
Yeah. I mean, I got my
Sure.
spells back, but
rest 5e. All right, you have to spend hit dice.
Yep.
right. So how does that work?
Basically, if you check your character sheet, at the bottom you see the HD.
Yep. I got 5 of
That's-
them.
Yep. You roll that, and that's how much you get back.
Okay.
So all of us roll one hit die for.
I mean, roll whichever. Like, you can choose how many to roll.
okay.
like,
You do it one at a time.
And those refill
Yeah.
at the end of a long rest.
Yeah, those will refill at the end of a long run.
Oh, so that's how it works.
Yep.
Okay. Back to full
Well,
health.
sorry, you get half of them back. Sorry, with a long rest, but you also get your full HP back with a long rest.
Yeah.
So yep, there you go.
Spending 2, I got all of my health back.
Woo.
Not bad.
Okay, so I So can I also try and use the short rest to try and turn some of that goblin and bugbear armor I'm carrying into dog armor for Crunchbite?
Yeah, you can go ahead and do that.
And can I resummon my owl?
Yes, you can resummon your owl.
I presume, does that fall under Cunning Artisan? I mean, I know it does. I mean, but that's something you'd be willing to allow fall under Cunning Artisan, or?
Oh yeah, I'm good with that.
Okay.
Just as long as you don't take advantage of me here.
Well, I will. I mean, yes.
Yeah, it's. I'll say for dog armor, definitely you'll have more trouble making people out of that.
Okay.
Or humanoid, I guess I should say.
Okay.
Anywho,
so,
dog
yeah,
now
so
has.
So how much of the armor is used?
You're going to be using all of it because you're going to, it's goblin armor, which is already pretty threadbare.
Okay.
And on top of that, you're on top of all of that, you're trying to make it fit something that is a quadruped.
Okay. So then I'll remove that from my note since it was never officially in my inventory, and then you can put like dog armor on Crunchbite.
Yeah, I will put dog armor on Crunchbite. I'm going to make myself a note real fast to do that later because I don't have that. I don't know where I would get that right now. Yes. So let me get you. Let me get you an owl back since you went ahead and did that.
All right.
That's the wrong thing. Thank you for letting me take a brief break.
Aloysius the Second.
Yes, Aloysius the Second.
I'm actually surprised you could hear the children screaming outside, Spud, because usually my mic doesn't pick that up.
Oh yeah,
your game's up pretty high today, so maybe that's it.
Where's that owl token?
It's funny because I don't do anything to my mic.
That's weird.
I literally don't do anything to it, and then it just changes.
Well, by default, Windows likes to auto adjust based on signal. So and if you have multiple audio devices connected to your computer, sometimes it likes to switch around what your default programs use.
There's your owl back.
All right.
Alrighty. So yes, you have asked a representation or real life version of Hallister Blackcloak some questions, and lost the ability to go back to that demiplane. But you got a 10-foot pole out of it. Well, 2 halves of a 10-foot pole.
It's something.
Yes, and
Actually.
I'll need you to remove that mask from your inventory, Lander.
Right.
You meant
So
I do have mending if you want that pole fixed.
nope.
I think it could work.
It'd be a fun pull.
But I have a 5-foot pole, which is now a backup.
Quarterstaff.
Yeah, quarterstaff.
I mean, we've got
That's
two.
what I meant to say.
2 5-foot poles where we could have 1 10-foot pole.
Or you can make 4 2.5-foot poles.
Or we could make 1 20-foot. Okay, I'm done.
Or if you put I believe actually if you put the 2 5-foot poles together, you'll get a 55-foot pole. That's how math works, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely, that is how this works.
Hey, you had mentioned, I think in a previous session, something about some system for being, getting, what is it, proficiency with the working kits or what have you?
Still a dog.
Yes, I believe I was talking with Lander about it, and it was a just utilizing the kit to do something beyond your current capabilities is a role. Oops, I don't know why I typed owl in the chat.
Because owls are everywhere.
But yeah, it's a roll. Basically, you're rolling D20 to sort of determine whether or not you're actually growing in capabilities with it.
Okay. So when using the the
Leather worker.
finding artisan skill, that doesn't apply then to the leatherworking proficiency.
I mean, I'm gonna say it does. Just because I mean, you still have to utilize those tools.
So then, should I roll a d20 then, or
yeah, go ahead and roll a d20, and I'll make a note of your. Okay, yeah. It's not great dog armor, but it's passable considering this is your first attempt. And I'll make another note that you are you're getting an understanding of leatherworker tools. Oops, that's not how you spell any of this. Good God, keyboard, work with me.
okay? So I'll have to be on the lookout for more dead stuff to make stuff out of.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That was very
Gotta
concerning.
level up those crafting professions.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. They're useful.
Okay.
By the way, stealing your dog.
How dare.
It's my dog now. I can speak to it. It understands me.
All right. So, which the hallway next to this bas relief, there's not much there. It's pretty blank, and then as you take that second curve, you can see the hallway goes pretty far north, and there's another hallway leading south.
Well, we don't know what's to the north, so should we go there first?
I'd say we try to.
I think the opposite, because it looks like that heads up back to where we were, even though it wasn't there. But again, my priority is to get down instead of explore.
Yeah, I'd
Well,
say that
yeah.
through this dungeon, I'd say our priority should be to not spend a lot of our resources trying to explore everything and try to prioritize making progress.
We can always come back up.
I'm inclined to at least go take a peek.
Well, the thing is,
Can
most of
always
this has been
come back
explored
up.
and looted.
Yeah, like this floor especially does not have a lot of value in trying to explore 100% because the business above us has literally made their fortune by having a bunch of people come down here to search for crap.
And
True.
him himself doing it.
But there's still also not a whole map of the entire floor yet.
But we can always
But
come
yeah,
back.
we can do that on the way back.
Jhank is going to sneak up to peek around the corner.
Can I grab his shirt as he tries to go?
Worth
Just to
noting.
keep in mind that it's a secondary objective.
Yeah, worth noting real fast. I believe Dernan said it wasn't that necessarily that he didn't have a map of the floor. It's that the Undermountain keeps changing. So, like, he might not have. I think that his issue is more that he doesn't have a current map, and he doesn't know what things have changed yet, which is why he was, writing down the one he stole from you guys.
Okay.
Fun.
Well,
So if we take enough time, it might even be a different way to get out. What the hell?
I really wasn't kidding about that. Can I grab his shirt as he tries to go by?
You get scary
Wow.
when you start shouting into that mic.
It sure is. Feel like I'm being.
Oh dear.
Must be that infernal inner.
Man, I kind of really like that, actually.
I'm sorry.
Infernal is clipping.
High-pitched gains.
I mean, it's probably an accent. It's probably an accent.
Probably.
Probably.
But the question is it your infernal accent or is it the accent from the neck of the world you come from?
It's both. Because sure, why not?
Alrighty, so you're sending that owl into the small, not to the, but to the room to the south, correct?
yeah.
All right. You can see in this room, there is an enormous map on the northern wall, or not on the western wall. Sorry, the basically the wall that connects to that hallway.
The largest wall.
Yes, the largest wall. But more immediately obvious is this open 10-foot pit in the middle of this room. And the owl can hear and see something is moving around in it, clawing at the walls, trying to get out.
I wonder what.
It's a really deep pit.
It's a 20-foot deep pit, but the walls are completely smooth. And do you want that?
Manticores have wings?
Not these ones. I don't believe the ones in D&D do.
So it
Yeah, I
might be
think
a
so.
manticore.
I'll say this, that is too small. Like, it's a 10 by 10 foot pit, so it's
okay.
it's if the manticore is in it, it probably would have been able to get out.
Wasn't it
I don't know how
the
large
manticore we
manticores are.
saw in the first session?
Yeah, it was a manticore you guys saw in the first session, and it was definitely, like, they're not 10 feet long, but, like, basically you get the feeling that a manticore could easily jump out of that.
All right.
Like, they're big, strong, nasty, magical critters.
So this is not the manticore room with the troll.
No.
Okay, so Jhank is going to go up to the door.
Wonder where that would be. So anything else in this room?
No, aside from the map and the actually, sorry, there is one other thing. It was sort of marked. There is an X on the southern wall. Specifically,
So, like, around here.
I'll make a little. Yeah, it's right where that hallway seems to connect. There is an X like chipped into the stone there.
All right.
Can I investigate that wall?
I'm
Yes.
gonna look at the map.
Jhank is also going to look at the map.
All right, we will
Actually,
start.
he's going to look down the pit.
All right. Oh, Azure lost connection and
Oh.
reconnected. Okay, cool. I'll start with the southern wall. Yes. Roll me a quick investigate, Yuliy.
Why do I always pick a skill that I'm not good in?
Fortunately for you, I wasn't looking for anything especially high, so because it's
Thank
already
you for having mercy on my soul.
it's already pretty clearly marked. You do look a bit foolish as you like try to figure out what section of this actually opens, and you realize you literally just have to push where the X is, and the whole stone area swings to the side, revealing that hallway.
Huh. Well, I found our way forward, guys.
That is good.
I'll go to the map next. It's like this map covers the entire wall. It's enormous, and it's a map of the Undermountain.
Well,
How many
really?
floors are there?
It shows. One moment to. I always forget exactly how many floors are on the Undermountain, which is one of the other reasons that I stumbled earlier.
30.
There are 23 floors.
Haha.
Okay.
So that was the way.
The
Good to
mage
know.
lied to us?
Of course he lied to us.
That's me, which is
I mean,
different.
he said he was gonna lie.
He did, and by saying that, he told the truth, which is weird when you think about it. So there are
He was
23
honest,
floors to
he
the
was-
Undermountain.
He was deceptively honest.
Yes. You can see at the very top there is also this sort of like relief of Waterdeep, and Mount Waterdeep as well. And then there are the floors underneath it. They all have they each have their own sort of like style and like flair to them. But there's no you can't tell just from looking at this map exactly what's going on each floor. That
So I think
said,
it's like a cutout of like the vertical thing.
yeah, it's like
to each floor.
it's like a vertical slice, basically, with some features that imply but don't actually say what each floor might contain. That said, there are three. Basically, there are three sort of like extensions from the wall that look much more distinct and a little bit clearer. Right next to the third level, there is a flaming skull. And it's not within the like actual vertical slice of the map. These are all like on the outer edges of it, which is what made them stand out. Next to the 16th level is a comet. And on the 23rd level, there seems to be a tower with a rune engraved into it.
What does the rune say?
It says Hallister.
Ah,
Gonna say Sauron the Deceiver, but okay.
I mean, you're not wrong either way.
And if you want to get any more out of it, roll an investigation.
investigation, you say?
Yeah.
Not as good as
Yeah.
my last one, but still pretty good.
It's about
Oh.
Yeah, a 22 is pretty good. You can tell that those
My last one's 24. But yep.
those extensions are actually buttons. They do something. You don't know what yet, but they do something.
I wonder
Press
if this
one.
map is on every floor.
Elevator.
Press a
What?
button.
Wonder if it's like a guided tour thing.
So what's in the pit?
We'll get to the pit very shortly. Do you want to press any of the buttons?
Hey Yuliy, you want to press a button?
Do
Go ahead
I?
and press that flaming skull over there.
No. Just press a
All
button.
All right,
Which
fine.
one?
I'll press the skull.
You'll press the skull.
The flaming skull.
No, I don't want to press the skull.
A magical voice echoes in this room, and it simply says, "Gate access to Skullport disabled."
Ah, so that's what that gate
Press it
is.
again.
Okay.
Press it again.
I am pressing it again.
Why are
Which one are
pressing
you-
the same thing?
The skull.
You're pressing the skull. It
Yes.
repeats, "Gate access to Skullport disabled."
Oh, this would activate the gates if they were enabled.
Yeah.
I
So
was hoping
fast
that
travel.
it would reactivate if I pressed it again, but I guess that's not the case.
Was there any sort of distinct markings around that first gate we saw?
The runes don't appear to correlate to anything you see on the map. And there wasn't anything distinct about it aside from it appeared to be some sort of gate.
And what about the second one?
The second one, you couldn't see the runes on it. They were all covered by that enormous sort of like wizard statue or like wizard sort of outline. You assume they were still there, but you actually have no way of knowing.
Right.
But it looked different. It did look different from the other one in that like there was a physical object there to pass through, whereas that other one there wasn't anything. So you get like just from the two that you've seen, and from what Miles has told you, there's no way of knowing like whether like simply reactivating the spell would actually reactivate that gate from earlier. You might need some material component as well, or it might be impossible. There's not really any way to tell.
See. Let's press the meteor.
Gate access to Stardock from level 16 only.
I don't know if this is a good idea. It seems to just be turning things off. Maybe we don't want them off.
No, it's not turning them off. It's just telling us that
yeah.
we can't access them right now.
Oh.
So seems that the star one's only accessible from level 16.
Mm-hmm.
So there are probably more of these maps on each level.
And
Potentially.
tower.
Can I press 1 until it does something?
I'll let you know right now. I'll let you know right now.
They're not going to do anything, are they?
No, they're just going to repeat the same message.
Okay, that's fine. Thank you for hearing me.
No worries. But if you want to press the last one, if someone presses the last one, it will say, "Gate access to Hallister's Tower from level 23 only."
But that implies we push it, otherwise we won't know that.
I did press all of them.
Okay.
Yes.
I did press all of them.
And as for the pit, You have better, like, you can look at it more closely and, not worry about getting immediately vaporized like the owl might. But down in the pit, there appears to be some sort of revenant, and it's looking up at you.
It's a what?
A revenant.
Is a revenant.
Back away, back away,
I don't
back
know what
away,
a
back away, back away.
I have no reference for what a revenant is. I mean, that
It's a revenant in the. I'll pull up the like specific thing. It's a form of ghost, basically.
So I see a ghost.
Yes, but it's. All right. A revenant forms from the soul of a mortal who met a cruel and undeserving. It claws its way back into the world to seek revenge against the ones who wronged it. The revenant reclaims its mortal body and superficially resembles a zombie. Instead of lifeless eyes, a revenant's eyes burn with resolve and flare in the presence of its adversary.
Eyes flaring?
The eyes are not flaring. And like I said, it is looking up at you, Jhank. And it starts... it's saying something. But I'm gonna need some kind of roll to determine if you can actually really comprehend what it's saying with its kind of mangled voice.
What do I say? I mean, what do I roll?
This feels... Didn't mean to hit my microphone there. This feels kind of perception-ish.
Okay, perceptionist.
Listen real hard.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Okay. Yes. You understand him. You are used to things speaking in a not completely understandable way compared to maybe the others are.
This is just another Tuesday for me.
Yes, and it points to you and says, "Please let me out. I need to return to my allies."
Wait, is he drunk?
Who are your allies?
The ones who did this to me.
So do I
start having a
recognize
very
the
bad
ghost
feeling.
Do I recognize the ghost as being, the remains of
Welcome to the
anyone
club.
I know? Does Jhank recognize the fallen form?
Even without your amnesia, you recognize him. I'll just say that right now.
What?
Even without your amnesia, you wouldn't recognize him. And he's still got some clothing on him. And he looks like he was an adventurer at some point. Potentially a cleric, you're guessing by the robes he's wearing. But there's appears to be a small little pin on him that represents some adventuring group that you don't recognize at all.
Now, so are revenants known to attack people that they don't have a grudge against?
Nope. Not unless someone attacks them first.
What did your... he said his allies did that to...
Yep.
Did that... What did your former allies do to you?
They killed me. They stole my holy symbol, and they took my map.
Fun party.
Yeah, that bad feeling's getting stronger right now.
Yeah, nobody get any ideas.
And you can tell sort of now by having it being still, because it appears to have been pacing and clawing at the walls for a while. The half elf revenant looks at you again and goes, "Please let me out. If I can get my revenge, you can have my map."
Whether we can actually help him or not, it would be cruel to leave him down in there.
Well, Jhank has rope.
45 to
Ask
50
him who
people.
his allies are.
Who were your allies?
like actual names.
The Fine Fellows of Daggerford was our group name. I am looking for a dwarf named Copper Stormforge, and 2 humans named Midna Talberth and Rex the Hammer. All of them bastards.
We don't know them at all, but
Okay.
either they died in here too, or they're either living above or below.
Well-
And freeing him will ensure their end.
Well, it said what? A cruel and what kind of
Unusual
death?
death, yeah.
Cruel and unusual.
But
Yeah.
but
So-
they're clearly backstabbers. So
Yeah.
Jhank is going to get out his hempen rope and lower it down to try and help the guy out.
Okay. Is
That's
anyone going
concerning.
to object?
But as a side note, I added Lamon's tiny hut and detect poison disease to my ritual spell list.
Okay, sorry, I forgot to do that. I apologize.
Nah,
I
it's fine.
think this is a bad idea.
I've come around to being neutral on this idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm fine with whatever.
Let him go.
Jhank is totally on board with helping this cruel and whatever death guy
Yeah.
get his revenge.
All right. He will climb out of the map, and now that you can see it properly, you can see that he has sort of a. I'll post in it. Let me share an image real fast. That's on the right hand side. That's basically what a revenant is.
Not the guy getting owned, you mean?
No, not the guy getting strangled. Although he might become a revenant too.
It's the circle of jerks.
But I'm series of revenants who just became revenants by being killed by other revenants in really unusual ways. So there really is no end. So just leave them
Yes.
down there.
Looks like that revenant got hung.
Yes, that particular revenant is not.
Too late.
Is not.
Jhank's already helped him out of the hole.
All right.
Hmm?
The half elf looks at you, Jhank, and goes,
Thank you. My name is Haleth Gok, and my map is of the 3rd floor of this dungeon. If you help me, you will have it.
Problem is we've never met your companions and don't know where they are. At least all we can do is free you.
I don't suppose you know where they are, because depending on that, we may not physically be able to help you. We are dealing with a bit of a situation of our own.
Yeah, and it's pressing.
As I said, the map is of the 3rd floor.
So
They are going down.
All right then.
I do not know how far they've gotten. They killed me yesterday.
Ah,
I awoke this morning.
so they will probably be down if they've made it far at all. All right. Are you proposing that we join forces to find them?
That would be most agreeable.
All in favor of letting the Revenant Cleric join our team?
I'm all right with it.
Sure.
Well, I
All
can
right.
say no out after helping him out of the hole.
I am
Cool.
concerned but outnumbered.
All righty. Everyone gain 1,800 experience.
All right.
You've helped a
see.
revenant, or at least you've decided not to slay the revenant. You have passed this encounter, I will say.
Oh god, you already passed like that.
So it was 18,000?
1800.
1,800.
1,800, right.
Yeah, not 18,000.
What I-
He's challenge level 5, not challenge level 500.
And then, so I think we should be at 4,520 now.
Should be.
I see I had 2,320 before, and with 1,800 I'm at 4,120.
I believe Azure's numbers are closer.
I don't even remember.
I have a hold on. I should be able to do some EXP stuff. Hold on. Where the hell is that thing I was just doing?
Actually, yeah, if it was 2, 3, 20, then 3 plus 8 does equal 11.
Oh. All
Wait,
right.
what-
Not 15.
Oh,
What did
hold
we
on.
just get?
1800. Hold on. I just realized I have a thing I can do. I should have done it before. Counter goblin. Nope, not that one. This one. Boop. This one. Boop. You passed this one. I forgot to give you guys experience for the duplicates as well, so.
Or the what?
The duplicates, the mirrors.
Ah, right.
I forgot to give you guys that. So, hold on. I should have a pretty accurate.
Somehow that does. Somehow, I mean, I can't complain, but somehow that seems wrong to get EXP for the
Get
simple fact that
experience
the
for
newer
being
guys-
dead.
Yes. Well, to be fair, in order to get that experience, you must have been down here before. You must
Fair.
have done that encounter before.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
so it's not we're earning experience, we are remembering experience.
Sure, we'll go with that.
Some new, some old.
And then there was the gray ooze.
I don't even think the number I have for experience is correct. It's fine.
Yeah, hold on. I should have you guys' experience all set up pretty shortly.
No, I just have it I have a bunch of notes on a secondary sheet on my computer, and it's probably wrong.
Okay. So here's all of the experience that you guys should have. Although you might need to change yours, Victor. Oh crap! I forgot how experience gets divided up. Whoops.
Do that.
Yeah, sorry.
4 more times.
Yeah, I forgot it gets divided like that. Okay. I can't actually. It's already been awarded, so I can't do that 4 more times.
I don't even know where it is, to be honest.
You go to your main tab on your character sheet and then click on your class and level.
Yeah,
Oh.
I forgot that I have a thing. I also forgot that I can put you guys as quests in here. I should do that. I'm going to do that later, but I'm going to make a note real fast to put your guys' in the quest slot so you can get your EXP later. Put quests.
Okay, so if you want to award us the remainder, you'd have to award the party 21,800.
Yeah, I think that's actually too much. I think I screwed up the EXP. I do think the 1090 is actually what it's supposed to be.
Yeah, because it's divided between all of us.
It's divided between all of you. It's been a while since I've done D&D that did a lot of combat, so I'm bad with EXP.
Fair.
So how much experience is it to the next level?
To level 6?
Yeah.
You reach a total of 14,000.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ways.
I've been saving cumulatively, which is why I don't know if my number is correct, because the last number I had was 8,820.
Yeah, it's specifically to go from level 5 to level 6. It is a total of 7,500 EXP.
There we go.
So are we starting from level 5's XP or from 0 XP?
Level 5s.
Yeah, because you guys are level 5.
So I just got my XP as 1090 and my next level as 7,500.
Yeah.
That'll do it.
Yep. Sorry about the confusion. Alrighty. Anyways, yes, the Revenant has joined your party.
All right. New
Dun,
NPC.
dun, 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 dun.
I'm going to go ahead and add him to combat as an NPC.
We're just adopting all kinds of NPCs.
I'm going to put him as neutral because he's going to fight with you, but he's not technically with you guys.
Fair.
He's got his own thing.
Mhm.
He's sort of like just hanging out with us, but he's not our friend.
Yeah. But he will give you a map of the third floor.
If we manage to find his targets.
Buddy. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Helping him enact revenge is its own reward.
So, yes.
We will probably get more experience upon defeating those people.
Defeating the other adventurers, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay,
it's a little shady, but
But they did kill him.
Mhm.
No, I know
Reven-
this is all super shady and super really gray area. It doesn't mean I'm
revenants
not so
don't generally
uncomfortable
like
with it.
summon the strength of will to possess their own bodies unless they are, legitimately incensed. So
Yeah,
And
if
Jhank is a chaotic neutral, so he has no trouble with the whole. So he's not feeling any moral qualms about this whole deal at all.
Mhm.
Really just feel concerns for all parties.
It looks like Digo tried to give me some XP, but I don't think anything happened.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that was. I was trying to click outside a box and I clicked
We'll
Oh, you probably clicked and dragged it.
yeah, that probably.
Yeah,
Whoops.
that's what it was.
Okay.
Okay,
Well,
So-
it hasn't changed anything in the party sheet, so I guess.
Yeah, no, it's just taking the text and reposting it.
Okay.
Anyway,
And cool. So yes, there is a secret passageway that has been opened to the south, and there is that side passage to the east that goes north. That was really confusing.
Yeah,
But yes.
well,
You-
I guess we're going through the secret tunnel.
I want to
Yeah.
go through the secret tunnel because the map says this heads towards the stairs, which is where I'd
Yep.
like to go. My priorities have not changed.
there's also another statue there.
Maybe we don't know
Yes.
what that is.
That's a statue.
Well, all of the stars are statues. I did say
Okay.
that.
Yep, it's in the legend.
Yes. So I'll say this as the owl passes, see that there are a lot of humanoid footprints in the dirt of this secret passage, in the dust. So you can tell this has some high traffic, regardless of whatever it is.
well, yeah, there's a huge X on the door. Everyone's gonna find this thing.
Yeah. So,
Bet you it
real
was
quick,
Durnan.
regarding those the yellow dots in the legends,
Mm-hmm.
is it safe to assume that those are
Those are the
now
candles.
the candles?
Yes.
Someone change that from unknown/unexplored to floating candles.
Cool.
All right.
So I presume we have no trouble opening the other doorway.
The other doorway has a similar X on it. Should be pretty easy to move. I mean, you've basically figured that part out of it out. I am, however, going to need who wants to open the door.
Me.
All right, so you're going to be the one opening the door.
Yep.
Roll stealth.
You want me to roll
Maybe
stealth?
maybe I
That's
handle this
cute.
one.
I think it's a bit late for that.
Yeah, I know.
Mhm.
You- I'm trying to make sure it gives me. Oh my goodness.
Hey. Oh, wait, no, that's religion.
Ronan!
No?
Ronan!
You pray that your opening
What?
of the door goes unnoticed.
What's your stealth bonus? Oh wait, don't you have dis?
I have a -1 and I have disadvantage.
Yeah. Okay. Roll again.
Oh,
Okay, all right. I am going to be generous here because you made an accidental roll. And the first one I saw of the 2 that you rolled was an 18. I'm going to be very generous to you here. And I'm going to make my own roll. I'm going to take it as the 14 is what you actually roll. All right. You open this door, and you can see out in this big room, there is another watchtower. And you can see quite a lot of, you can see specifically 3 bugbears, 19 goblins, 2 ettins, and a shrieker.
Oh,
And none of them notice you.
I'm gonna close
I
the
don't
door.
know what 2 of those things are.
I know what all those things are. I'm just gonna close the door and turn around. We don't want to go this way.
I mean, it's kind of the only way to get to where we're going that we know of.
of course
There's
they're
a
all
lot of
camped here.
things
That's where
in
the,
there.
the stairs are.
So real fast,
It's the biggest kill box on the floor.
here's what I'm gonna say. Whoops, that's bigger than I intended it. But the camp is over here, where this big 40-foot square is. There are no goblins or bugbears or whatever in this little pathway.
Do we want
You
to try
m-
sneaking past them?
You might be able to book it through this zone and just get to the 2nd floor if you don't want to fight.
I am going to offer a suggestion for everyone. Everyone else was better sneaking than I do. Go. The moment one of you fails, I'm booking it because I will not be able to sneak.
I'm gonna check something real fast.
Does someone have pass without trace or something?
I don't think so.
What are
I-
those spells?
Someone does.
See,
I don't know.
Additionally, I have Layman's
yes,
tiny hut.
That wouldn't really
yes, I
help
have
here.
pass without trace.
Actually, 2 of you do. 2
Oh,
different
yeah,
people.
because Victor would have it as a druid,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Yeah. Wasn't one of the spells I memorized though.
So yes, I have that. I can pass without. I can use pass without trace.
I don't think
Oh.
it stacks though, so.
Real fast, I could have sworn that
Do druids have to memorize, or they just...
yeah, no,
Yeah,
druids
you
have
to
access.
prepare.
You have to
yeah,
prepare.
prepared. Okay. Yeah, I don't know which ones you prepared. So.
Cure
So,
wounds,
I
detect
mean, I
magic,
could-
angle, long strider, bark skin, lesser restoration, dispel magic, and protection from energy.
Worth noting, you do have, like, I believe as a druid, you change what spells you've prepared during a short rest.
What have I thought to change it though?
Yes.
So-
I mean, that's the question. Do you feel like you can justify it? Or?
I could set up Layman's tiny hut, and then we could just attack them without having any chance for them to affect us for 8 hours.
What?
Yeah. Creatures and objects within the dome when you cast this spell can move through it freely. All other creatures and objects are barred from passing through it. Spells and
How
other
long
magical
does it-
effects can't extend through the dome or be cast through it.
How long does it take to cast?
It casts
1 minute.
but it's a ritual, so it would take me 11.
Yeah.
And also, we can only use physical weapons to shoot through the outside, I think,
Mm-hmm.
because it says spells cannot be cast through it.
The way pass without trace works is
It adds 10 to stealth rolls.
right, but anything within 30 feet, including, so we only need one of us, or alternatively, we could do 2 of us and then add.
It doesn't
plus
stack.
20. Oh, okay.
It doesn't stack. So it'd be one of you who does it.
As far as Liam's tiny hut goes, there are exactly 9 of you.
Yeah. So,
Oh, snap!
wow. What is that roll for?
I decided to just kind of see if I was going to rememorize the spell or not. So I figured, okay, I'll just roll 50-50. You know, if I roll high, I memorized it.
I mean, you did,
Alright.
like, I feel like it's justifiable in that you did just a ton of goblins that you left alive.
Yeah. What level
feel like
spell is it?
It's a level 2 spell.
Second.
Level 2?
Yeah. So
I will trade it out from Barkskin.
yes.
So so what are we doing? Are we sneaking or are we fighting?
Sneaking
We
won't
should
take 100
sneak.
years.
Yeah.
Also true.
Sneaking is just much more elegant and less painful, by the way.
I still say that regardless, even if we are sneaking, you guys go first because I'll probably roll low even with plus 10.
Mm.
Well, basically, we have to stay close to the caster, so we basically all go at once.
Yeah.
It's 30 feet. 30
Well,
each box is 5.
Still, it's like, we're, you know.
Pretty close.
It's not I'm actually not asking for like that far, but like the last one to leave out of the door.
We're basically just leaving in single file, basically, with
Yeah,
the caster in
right.
the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that he can shed some light.
All right.
All right,
What
ready?
you gonna do?
Who is going to go ahead and use Pass Without Trace?
That would be me.
Okay.
All right.
So real quick though, what were the monsters that were there again?
There are. Let me pull up the list. 3 bugbears, 19 goblins, 2 ettins, and a shrieker. And I will pull up ettins and shriekers for you. At least pictures of them.
Okay.
So you guys have a rough idea of what you're dealing with.
Yeah, because I don't really have any experience with Ettins or Shriekers.
Yeah.
So I don't
Let
really
me
know what those are.
tokens.
Shriekers sound
No.
bad.
They are bad.
Yeah, I can assume what a Shrieker is based on the name, but
Images. Images would probably be better. So let's
Shriekers
go.
basically just kind of yell when they hear you. Alert everything.
Oh, that's weird.
how similar are they to Banshees?
A shrieker is it's not quite the same. It's a shrieker is a plant specifically.
Okay.
It's a human-sized mushroom that shrieks.
So a
And-
living intruder alarm.
Basically.
Yeah, and an Etten is a this is an Etten. Let me share. I'm having a little bit of delay because there's a lot of stuff going on.
Right.
Big
Ugh.
two-headed dude.
Ah,
That's
so it's
ugly.
like a two-headed ogre or troll.
Yes.
Something like
They've
that.
caught a 2-headed cave troll.
They've caught 2 of them.
Yeah, Ettins are not fun. I had
I
to
got the
fight 3
brains, not
once.
And
Fun.
Yeah.
shriekers are these purple fungi.
That is
He
disgusting.
does look like a fun guy. Well, I had to get one in there.
Eh. Normally you're the one like, groaning, so I'm happy to hear pun, but
Mhm.
Yeah. All right, so casting the spell.
all right.
And
Pass
then we
without
all
trace.
just sneak around and get out. Bippity boppity boo. Cast a spell on you.
So how long is the duration of that spell again? Let's see. I have it up here.
It's concentration up to an hour.
An hour. All right.
Yep, there goes a shrieker.
At least your like
Ooh.
alarms sound like alarms and not air raid sirens like every single one of my fire trucks.
Yeah.
I had a fire truck or ambulance go by just now.
All right.
So
Spell is cast.
Mhm.
I guess we're moving down to the stairs, but maybe
Yep.
don't go down all the way just yet.
Yep.
I'll keep the spell
Book
up
it.
as long as you need
We'll
it.
book it.
Let's not book it
Just be careful.
because, if we book it, we might die. Again.
I'm gonna make some rolls of my own. Don't mind me.
Anyway, so we all need to roll some.
Stealth checks.
Gonna just
Yep.
Plus 10.
get it over with.
Plus
That-
10.
That's plus 9.
Adding on to
So
that.
that's actually a
9. It's higher than it is, but
it's a 15,
yeah.
which is pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's not bad.
It could have been way worse.
Meanwhile, I got a 13.
Oh. All right. So my first couple rolls were to see whether or not the Revenant Crunchbite or Chestnut triggered anything.
Oh, right.
And the last roll was a sort of general perception for the group. Congrats, you passed by 1.
Oh.
Bad for me,
Gosh.
because I'd have been the one that got noticed.
No, yours would have been plus 10. I would have been noticed.
No, I had a 13 total.
Oh,
I
see,
rolled
yeah.
a 2.
Oh, I didn't even add the plus 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just have the penalty.
So congrats. I'm not going to award you experience for this because unless you guys can find back up, they'll still be there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fine.
But yes, you have all made it to the stairway leading down to the floor.
Well then.
Let me get some maps up.
Woo. I'm so excited to see the second floor. So excited.
Wait,
we
so we're
have
just
any maps
skipping
of
the
the
whole
second floor, or are we
thing where
going
the
completely
people
blind?
died when they entered the arch?
I mean, yeah, I haven't actually described an arch. I said you're in. Well,
In the stairwell. All right.
yeah,
So you're
that's
just comparing the maps. Got it.
yes. I got to
Do
get
we
the
have
maps
any
right now.
maps of the second level at all, or are we going in completely blind?
You're. I have a very small portion that I'm going to give you guys that you would have gotten from Miles, but the rest is going to be blank. I just have to actually remember where it is because God, there's so many maps. Man.
Yeah.
Nope, that's not the right one.
We get fewer maps by going to new so that we don't get all of them
mhm.
as players.
It's really weird. Why is it? Oh, there we go. Because I have a separate section for public maps. That's why. Could not figure out why I couldn't find them. And please let me zoom out. Okay. Nope, this one's just enormous. Okay. And let me get a good masking going. And open this zone up over to here. And no. Crap. Sorry, this is really difficult. The second floor map is enormous.
Boy, oh boy.
No worries. Take your time, man.
I got an hour.
And
After which point the spell wears off, we get discovered, and we get killed.
you won't necessarily die. Just, you know.
Yeah, I mean,
Just the first time I go clang.
if you could hold them off for 11 minutes, I could save us with Liam's tiny hut.
You and that
I'm-
dang hut.
I'm really dubious about how effective that would actually be.
It would be
I've
very
actually
effective.
seen
I
it
assume.
work. You just can't use spells.
Feels just a
Which-
bit too cheesy.
It is.
I mean,
it is entirely.
be very,
cheating,
but-
that's the point.
It would
Yeah.
keep us alive.
And at some point, like they'd have to be like bring in one of their caster friends to try and get rid of it, right?
Oh, absolutely. It would be a dispel magic, and we're done.
Lehman's
Alright.
tiny cheese wheel.
1, 2, 3, 4,
I
I
need
mean-
to.
6.
Oh goodness me! This thing is like it's so enormous. It's actually like taking up just a crazy amount of space. I need to move this. So yes, Second floor, very large.
Still loading.
That's not the right one. I think I might have highlighted the wrong section, actually. Oops.
Loading, loading, loading. Everything is loading. Everything is white or off-white.
Oh, whoops. Yes, I did, in fact, highlight the wrong area. Whoops. Gotta fix
Space
that.
between spaces.
Sorry, it didn't quite didn't start quite where I thought it was. So, oops, that's not right.
I can see my dice in an off-white table. I don't
Shoot.
see anything else.
Like I said,
you can click and drag it to move it around, and find the find the pin.
Oh, jeez.
yeah.
Oh,
Sorry. Like I said, this one is very big,
That's completely fine.
and you'll be able to see why I was like, this doesn't quite make sense in a minute, because it's there we go.
All right.
All right, that should be shared.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hmm.
It's a really big, really big floor.
And there's only a small part that we can see.
Yep, there's only a very small part that you can see.
Sounds exciting.
That's fine.
But as you sort of pass through that, there is an archway. It's not quite a gate exactly. It's not like a magical gate that like implies, you will be transported to a vastly different location. It is it's just a sort of magical gate with a series of runes through it. And it looks like the first person who passes, like this thing looks active. You can feel magic arcing off of it like electricity. And someone's going to have to pass through it.
I'm sorry, what was that? I was busy trying to get the map off of my screen.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, it might be good to resize it.
Yeah.
But it's another stone archway. It's not a like portal, but it is a gate of some kind. And there is just this there are runes etched all across it, and they each represent something, but there's no way to tell exactly what it is. And the magical energy is like arcing off of it as though this gate is just ready to go.
Jhank will take his
Arcana check?
bow out and shoot an arrow through it.
No reaction when you shoot. But an Arcana check, Digo. That sounds like a good
You
option.
say there were runes on it?
Yes.
What do they say?
Again, this is pretty strong. Like it's more power word kind of thing. It's not a specific language, but depending on your Arcana roll, I'll give you some more info.
We both rolled 7.
Huh.
What do you know? Except I got a 12.
Yeah, you got a much better modifier.
Yeah, Victor, you can tell that these are powerful, but not much else. Lander, you can tell these are elder runes, but not much beyond that.
Okay.
Just can Jhank make a roll just because? I mean, just to see if he can get a gut feeling about it or something.
Yeah,
Okay, so is that still an Arcana roll?
I think in this case, yeah.
The Elder Runes 5, Skyrim.
Gut feeling is this is magic you're not used to.
Well, Arcana failed, so I'm just going to investigate it.
With an investigation, you can tell it's a well-made structure. It's definitely built properly to channel these sort of runes. Not much else.
Can I make is it possible to make a perception roll?
I think you guys are getting as much out of it as you can without
Yeah.
just passing through it.
So
Alright.
here's a thought.
I'm gonna
Mhm.
pass through it.
Layman's tiny hut,
Well, I was gonna.
spells can't pass through it.
Yuliy's already on the way through.
Bye,
So
guys.
if I cast it with a 10-foot, it's got a 10-foot radius. So if I cast it in that area, we could just walk under it without it affecting us, perhaps.
Maybe.
Sure, that'll definitely stop Elder Runes.
I don't think it's gonna work like that. It's a good thought, and I don't want to discourage you from doing what you want.
I mean,
but
if you want to just go through, then by all means.
Yeah.
it doesn't look like we have any other options.
Well, if you want to pull your Jhank, go ahead and do it.
I'm a thing now. Jhank is now a thing.
Hooray!
Yep.
All right. So you're going through?
I am going through against all better judgment because no one has any other ideas. Time to roll a new character.
Hold on. I see. Hold on. This is a bit tricky.
Why do you hate me so?
You should roll stealth so that it doesn't notice you.
Okay.
Yeah, sure, that's a great idea.
All
Yeah.
right. Do me a favor and roll a spell save.
Against what?
Just roll D.
Just roll a spell save, and I'll let you know whether or not you pass or.
No, I mean like what kind of save? Because I do have modifiers for certain things. Or is it just a 20?
It's you're resisting a spell, so it's that kind of spell save. Sorry, I'm.
Yeah, no,
Like,
I know.
is Dex or
Dex,
Is or
wisdom
what?
save, charisma.
Con?
That
part of the trick-
does make a difference. I have really high modifiers.
I think he's being purposely vague
Yes.
because he wants it to be a surprise.
so just a D20 then?
I don't have any other information on this.
That's
I
fine.
just have spell save.
Whoa!
Ah,
Oh,
that
okay. All right.
No.
Here is what happens. That arcing energy, just it as you pass through this gate, it builds up higher and higher. Like the bolts of energy start like shattering, like just like cutting through the air, and it's definitely focused on you. And it's you can actually feel that like the energy is like lifting you up off of the ground as you are watching. And a rune appears on your like back that the rest of the group can see that you quite can't.
What's it say?
It's around.
This one doesn't say. Well, here's what I'm going to say. This one says force.
Ah, you got a force rune on your back.
And Yuliy, do you have any loose objects on you?
Define loose.
Do you have anything that you think might come off with a good tug?
a weapon?
Like I think weapon, maybe weapon or the holy symbol or.
All right. What weapon? Here's what I'm going to ask. What weapon do you have out right?
Oh my gosh! I keep having to jump. Probably the war pick.
All right. The war pick. You feel this like energy pulse through your entire body, and like you feel what it like. You feel it build up, and just as it seems like it's about to burst within you, your holy symbol lights up. Not in a soft, like basically your mask sort of glows with this soft green light that envelops you, but it doesn't quite get to your pick before it's launched from your hand and completely buried in the like ceiling of the stairway next to you.
Oh.
It is launched forward at a very, very, very high speed.
Hey, I just bought that.
And like the head is completely buried in stone, and you're not entirely sure if you'll be able to get it out. But you also have the feeling that if your magic had not channeled through you, you would have been smeared against that ceiling. And the force rune disappears, and you are lowered to and the gate deactivates.
Ooh.
Oh, so it
That
deactivates.
wasn't so hard.
Okay.
Y'all ready for nothing?
So, in light of that new information, can I roll Arcana again?
Sure.
That's a much better roll.
Oh, nice.
You know that rune can sort of go one of two ways. That particular force rune, either it launches, like basically it applies so much force to an object that it can basically just completely wreck anything, or it can be used as a sort of shield. But you can also tell, you can tell just from looking at the archway itself, that is one of the many runes on there. It's not the only one, but it is one of them.
The Mad Mage added a roguelike randomizer to every floor entrance.
Mm-hmm.
I see.
And
had to pick on Yuliy.
Yes, it can be boon or bane.
Ugh.
So, you want to know what what you might be dealing with if you had failed that?
I would have died, and you'd run me in a car.
Do you want to know the specifics of what might have happened?
Sure.
Do you think you could take 20 d6 force damage?
Absolutely not.
Wow.
That's
well,
I'll be in a car.
you might have been able to, assuming everything got one.
That would not have happened. I have 44 hit points, man.
On average, that would have been 70.
Yeah, I would have been gone.
Assuming 3.5 is your average for a d6.
Yeah.
But at best,
20, yes.
you'd have been at half health.
Yeah.
Let's cross through while it's off.
Yeah, might be a good idea.
So
Can I get a sense of when it'll turn on again?
You have the distinct feeling that based on I'll say this, based on your Arcana roll there, that I can give you this information. You guess you have about an hour before it turns back on.
So we'll probably have to deal with this again in the future.
Mm-hmm.
And it might not be the same rune.
It might not.
Moving on.
I'll think of a better idea to deal with it.
Yeah.
So does Yuliy just not have a weapon anymore, or?
I have several weapons.
Yes,
Okay.
Yuliy has several weapons, but that pick is gone.
Weapons. It's fine. I just have to take care of the war pick.
That pick is gone, I'm afraid.
Did it shatter, or is it just embedded in the wall?
It's so embedded in the rock that it's probably not going to be good when
Okay.
Okay,
Even if
so
we could
we are
get it out.
down on, so we are through the stairs.
You are through the stairs and on to the second floor.
If we
Are we
could
gonna
get it out, I'd like to take it with us so I can tinker with it with my tinker tools. Just as a practice thing.
Well, volunteer to pull it out of solid rock.
Yeah,
Yes.
I can't do that. I have 6 strength.
Yeah, someone with a high enough strength make
On the
make a
ceiling.
roll. Maybe.
It's not.
Jhank will try to pull it out.
Yep.
You can't reach it without standing on everyone's shoulders.
Fine.
Jhank will try to climb up to it and grab it to pull
I mean,
it out.
you could probably jump to it and try to grab it and then just dangle from it.
You could make a good jump, Yuliy. You feel like you could use this war pick to do some good pull-ups right now.
It's fine. It's fine.
What what do I roll for Jhank to make an attempt to get the end of that war pick?
It's just a straight strength roll.
Okay.
Whoever removes this war pick will rule all of Waterdeep at this point.
Yeah.
Wow. We are so enamored trying to get this pick back.
You feel the handle start to like creak and bend, and that's about it.
All right.
Just quit.
Well, moving on.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I tried.
Presumably
yes.
makes you the king of Australia.
King of the Undermountain, mate. All right. And so yes,
King of
you are.
Zenkarn land.
So you are all now on the second floor, the Arcane Sanctum.
Does that mean we get tokens?
Yes, I need to move your tokens down. Give me a moment to do that.
I'll say we are coming up on 5.
Yeah. It is about the time to sort of end. So let me get you guys moved in there so this will all be saved for the future. And then let me get a little bit of next sesh cliffhanger type stuff going on.
Good stuff.
And I'm going to remove this pointer real fast. And let's see. So, as you sort of enter this area, you can as you sort of pass through the gate and enter this lower area, the walls, like the stone walls, are actually different than the ones that were higher up. It's still very dark, but you can feel as you sort of lower down into this second story. The walls sort of pulse with magic. It's very, very faint, but the air in this room is charged. It feels like a magical bomb could go off somewhere on this floor at basically any moment. Like you can almost taste it. That's how pervasive the sort of magical feeling is in this zone. And for a very, very brief moment, as you descend into this hallway, you see a brilliant white light at the end of the hallway. And it's a humanoid figure that seems to be made of this white light.
Is it like what we saw in the dream?
It is exactly like what you saw in the dream.
right.
And it looks to you, and it raises it's actually lost some of the light that it seemed to have in your dream. But you assume it's looking at you from where it stands, and it raises a finger to its lips, and you hear sort of echoing in your heads, "Shh, I cannot speak with you yet, but I promise you will have your answer soon."
All right.
And with that, the figure disappears.
Dun dun dun.
I wonder if that's one of the apprentices, or if that's just some other entity.
Well, we will find out.
Next
know.
time.
Next time.
Dragon Ball Z.
So yeah.
Dun, 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 dun.
We've made it to the second floor,
Yay!
Hooray.
but we still have like half of the first floor to map out.
Oh yeah.
Next time we'll get to that better.
Considering what just happened, I think we can chalk up all still alive as an accomplishment here.
Yeah, it's a pretty big win. Real fast, the other thing you can see at the bottom of the staircase is a series of dead people. That's the other thing, because
We see dead people.
like Miles said, some people just died making it to this floor.
Yeah, this whole dungeon is a death trap, so let's not try to highly prioritize mapping it 100%.
Mm-hmm.
Unless we're like
it's a side
20th
objective.
20th level characters and we can just tank everything. I don't know.
Alrighty.
We can take goblin prisoners and
Let's assume we've got one life to live.
What would have happened if the Revenant went through with the thing first?
Smeared across the ceiling.
Yeah, the Revenant would not have, unless I rolled very, very well, Revenant would be destroyed.
Okay.
Oops.
So-
It's still,
to find alternate ways around those doors, or else interpret them. And
I can't
Yeah,
believe I'm
I mean-
about to say this, but on the plus side, his body would be basically too mangled to repossess.
So
unfortunately, there's a bunch of humanoid figures at the bottom of the steps, so his soul may have found another.
That's true.
I don't really want to suggest this since it's kind of inhumane, but we could send the owl in first.
that actually sounds like a great idea.
We'll see in the
I think-
future, I suppose.
Considering that at least part of this dungeon seems to be aware, they'd probably like filter out owls after the first couple times.
Maybe.
Or familiars in general.
Worth noting, I don't think this information is too spoilery or anything like that. The person who makes the Elder Runes, I wouldn't say they're manually controlled, but they are manually checked. So like the person who like set them gets to determine what triggers them, who it all affects. Effects can target more than one person.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Be careful.
Yeah.
As a side note, our party is almost half NPCs right now.
It sure is.
Yeah.
Got pets.
Yes. And a Revenant. All right. I need to make some notes for myself.
Oh yeah, another thing that we could have done is I could have put up a minor illusion to make it look like there was a wall where we exited.
Probably. Yeah. All right. I believe that's everything. So for tonight, I suppose we are done, and I guess it's time to do plugs and stuff.
All right. Well, thank you for listening to our Spudventures. If you like what you heard, you can find more at youtube.com/Newbiespud. Our podcasts are also on iTunes and the Google Play Music Store, so that's pretty exciting. We aim to live stream these games every Sunday around 2 p.m. Pacific time at twitch.tv/Newbiespud. Generally, if you follow me on Twitter at Newbiespud, you can get updates as to when they're about to happen. And if you want to support my ability to produce content like this with my friends, please support me at patreon.com/Newbiespud. And we'll see you next time with character generation for the Traveler system with Winged Cat running the show. So look forward to that. I'm really interested to see how that goes.
It should be interesting and fun.
Yeah.
And I know better at this point than to say what date the next Forgotten One session will happen. So
it's kind of the curse of the weekly gaming group. There will always be days missed and delays, and that's kind of the nature of the beast.
I know, but
tentatively the 16th.
Now you've cursed it.
Well, we'll see you when we see you. Thank you for listening.
Yes, thank you all for listening. Bye-bye.
See it.
Adios.